Hey, what's up everyone? Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for some live coverage. I'm here at the producer desk. We got a lot of folks not in the office at this exact moment. And we got big time storm moving into the Denver area right now. Looks like we've already had 2-inch hail falling at Red Rocks Amphitheater again here, less than 24 hours after that horrible mishap that happened at Red Rocks last night where we had crazy hail. There is going to be a concert there tonight. Thankfully, it is not till later, so hopefully the only folks that may have been impacted with that were probably there early tailgating or something and lost windshields in their car. Either way, we have a big time storm here now already in progress in sections of the Denver metro. So what basically we have is this one storm here over in the what is now moving into sections of Lakewood. It is moving out of, here, let me get rid of the storm, this thing. Moving out of Morrison and into sections of Lakewood. So we're moving out of the foothills and moving generally to the south and to the east. It is looking pretty nasty. If we bring up the correlation coefficients, notice how low those CC values are here. And for Colorado specifically, for you to see low correlation coefficient values like we are seeing here right now is very unusual. Usually you have very high correlation coefficients and very low, very high reflectivity values, greater than 60, and typically it's a lot of small hail and you get that bigger hail mixed in. This is looking to be much different. I've already seen a couple reports coming in Indian Hills. This is actually a photo I did see before I got on live here of tennis ball size hail. This is still in the mountains, folks, in the Evergreen, Indian Hills area, the Red Rocks area. So we got tennis ball size hail there in Indian Hills. We have, whoop, oh wait, is that like a new alert? Nope, oh crap. We're getting stuff on top. So we had, this is a $50 report. There is a 2-inch report in here in Morrison as well. So that's going to be at the Red Rocks Amphitheater itself. And this storm has now moved into sections of Lakewood, Colorado, and will be moving into Littleton and into eventually Centennial. So this is one pretty angry supercell here, folks. I'm going to try to get you guys that hail size on there, what the algorithm's showing up to baseball size hail possible. With this. Is that going to be the size right now? Probably not. Very likely you're getting that 2-inch to 2.5-inch size hail biggest. The biggest hail that we're going to be seeing here. If we're going to go ahead and query that severe thunderstorm warning. Oh crap. Okay, hang on. We got an update here. So, what? Okay, so this actually updated between me going live and now me bringing up the updated severe thunderstorm warning. This is a destructive storm here for the southern metro of Denver. This storm is warned for baseball size hail, and this is by trained weather spotters. This storm it's not moving very fast. It's moving east about 15 miles an hour, and basically the way I'm seeing this, we're rolling off of the mountains here. We're moving off the foothills and into the general Denver metro. And what's that going to cause the storm to do is start to make that southeasterly turn. So instead of going due east, I believe this storm is going to likely start moving further to the south and to the east than what is currently being shown here. So baseball size hail possible, 15 miles an hour. Places are going to be impacted, right? We're going to have, it's in southwestern sections of Lakewood, Colorado, and is going to be moving into sections of, again, Centennial and the rest of Lakewood here. So this storm is looking pretty gnarly on radar already. A lot of very low correlation coefficients here. I'm kind of bouncing back from the stream I have that you guys can see, and then on the other computer off to the side here, just making sure we don't see any other reports coming in right now. But it looks like overall, yeah, this storm's looking nasty, folks. So I'm going to remove the storm tracks. We're going to kind of ping pong around here. Let's zoom on in, and it's pretty clear to see where we have your big hail right now. Notice the reflectivity values. See all of the pink showing up right here. This is your hail core, and if we bring up the correlation coefficients, notice how low that's getting. We're getting values down well into the giant hail category here. So do I think that there's going to be like softballs or anything crazy, like the crazy stuff we've been seeing in Texas and admittedly a lot of the country in the last week and a half? No, I don't think so, but baseball-sized hail doesn't happen in Denver very often. The first one that comes to mind is probably the 2017 storm, especially if you're watching and you work Denver, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So this storm is looking very mean. And it looks like we just got another storm report in. Let's see what that one is going to be. So that's golf ball size hail in Morrison as well. So again, this is definitely dropping quite a bit of golf ball size hail. If we zoom on in, I'm going to get even more granular than where we're at right now. This is where most likely that biggest hail is going to be. So it's basically right in the inflow region of this storm. So if I zoom it out just a tiny bit, notice right in here you have that little inlet. That's really where all that warm air is coming in, that inflow, to cause all that lift with this storm, and that can make it so the hail can be really big. That biggest hail, that strongest upward moving air is going to be right up against that updraft, so that biggest hail is going to be right on the ejection zone of that. So, and very large hails, looking like it is ongoing here across the sections of the Denver metro here. Again, this is in portions of Morrison and southwestern Lakewood. I'll give you guys an intersection pretty much right along West Quincy Avenue and South Kipling Street here. We just got that radar update actually, and look at that. Yeah, we're moving further southeast. If we pull it back a little bit, notice it was moving east. And now we're moving a little more to the south and to the east here. So we're going to have Littleton and Centennial, Inglewood all coming up next. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued while we were talking about this. I'm assuming this is also going to be for baseball-sized hail. Yes. Okay, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning is over southwest Lakewood, about 10 miles west of Denver. It's moving east only about 10 miles an hour. So we're going to have a long hail time with this, guys. A lot of hail falling out of this storm. And we have, again, it is a destructive storm, a destructive tag. Those little black lines you're seeing here showing up on the screen, that is indicating this is a destructive storm, a destructive tag with this. And golly, it is... Yeah, this is looking pretty. This is pretty angry looking here, folks. So, again, a lot of people. Again, look at that. People affected, almost 1 million folks. Okay, this is a lot of Denver, possibly at risk here. Moving generally to the east. I think I'm saying more east southeast, just based off of how this storm is going to evolve. But yeah, baseball-sized hail, very possible within this. I'm thinking a lot more of that. Personally, I think we're seeing a lot more of that golf ball to 2-inch, maybe even some tennis ball size hail with this. But we'll see when some photos start coming in here, which I'm already getting a lot of stuff showing up. Oh, geez. Okay, yeah, we're already starting to. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to communicate with my team at the same time here because this is obviously turning into a very impactful situation. Overall, bring up that correlation coefficient again for you guys. I'm going to even remove the local storm reports, and then where you're seeing, I'm going to highlight it with the yellow. So right here where you're seeing that going up, it even extends all the way up to close to I-70. There is your hail core, and this is moving generally east southeast. Again, it says it's moving east at 10 miles an hour. Again, I'm really anticipating that is instead of doing this, I don't think it's doing that. I think it's going closer to the southeasterly route. So it's going to go to Littleton, it's going to go to Centennial, it's going to go to Foxfield, Southern Aurora. This whole area, I think this storm has nothing keeping it from dying. So it is definitely going to just keep rocking along here. Very strong storm, and again, we're getting those storm reports already coming in quickly with this. If I bring up another thing we look at, differential, it's a little tough to see on this, but either way, big time storm coming in here. We've already had golf ball size hail, some tennis ball size hail happening, that warning for baseball size hail. I'm trying to keep an eye up here for the any other photos that might be starting to roll in. It looks like, yeah, pretty, okay, I'm not seeing any photos in here quite yet, so that's good. Nothing outside of what we've already seen with this. So I'm also going to try to make sure, I'm going to bring it up. I'm realizing you guys are probably putting comments in and I am not seeing them. So I'm going to bring up my phone and bring up the comments that you guys may be bringing in with this storm. Here we go. This is a photo already of that tennis ball size hail. This was coming in the, what town was this? In the Indian Hills area, so that was a little bit earlier. I'm going to go bring up our stream really fast. Just give me a second. See myself here. Any comments coming in with this? Doesn't look like it. Okay, all right, good. So I'll put comments in. I can see, I got it. Got myself up on here. Obviously, I got a bunch of different screens. So right now, this is a webcam pointing directly at me off where I'm looking off on this side. This is going to be what you guys see on the screen. Over here is my other computer that controls the stream and what I can see people put into chat, and my other radar that I utilize, so I can kind of get a different perspective with this storm outside of what we have here within the Max system. So we have a bit of a radar. Looks like the radar has updated somewhat. You see again that where you're seeing the pink showing up, this is going to be your heaviest concentration of hail, and you bring up the correlation coefficient, this is where your biggest hail is going to be. So got that one circle, and then we got the other circle a little further in here. If I zoom it in, I can even give you guys an intersection where that biggest hail is likely falling. Again, West Quincy and Kipling Street, you're very likely seeing some hail probably greater than golf ball size, probably in that 2 to 2.5 inch zone. There are a couple other storms that we are keeping an eye on, though. If I bring up the storm tracks on here, looks like we have a warning now for sections of just north of Boulder. Let's go ahead, let's bring that up. This one is not going to be a destructive storm. Looks like this one's just for $half size hail. Querying that, that's radar indicated as well for places of like Gun Barrel and Niwot. That's going to be the storm there. Bringing up the correlation coefficient, not too much on that. If I query the meso, it looks like, oh, it's just telling me a Titan impact. It's not telling me the hail size potential, of course not. But overall, that storm is warned. And then here in the Denver area, we are also keeping an eye up here in Golden. It looks like another storm possibly could have some hail with it. Right now, it doesn't look like anything too wild, but going to keep that close eye on that. So the main game of town here is pretty much along Highway 285 south and points south. So places like Lakewood right now, you're getting smashed. Littleton, Inglewood, and then eventually South Glen and Centennial, you're going to be up next. Again, the storm says it's moving east at about 10 miles an hour, but if I roll the radar back, you can tell that it kind of makes a little bit of a southerly jog there. So I think the box, instead of where it's at, I think it should be something more like this for sections of southern Aurora, parts of Centennial, Littleton, Lakewood. Again, I'm just really kind of hammering that home. You're getting blasted here with some pretty serious looking hail across the region. Let's see if I got any other photos showing up with this. Nope, got all hail trace. Yep, some more baseballs. Justin is the Internet Explorer of everything on here, I guess. And okay, so again, the storm's moving pretty slow, which is going to definitely increase that hail time. Again, I think we're going to have areas impacted for an increasingly long amount of time here. If I query this, of course, we're getting it looks like we're getting some rotation with the storm. That's why the storm tracks are indicating that there's early rotation. really what all that's doing is you're getting that mid-level rotation here, where I kind of have it circled in here. This rotation is basically just keeping that hail suspended in the sky a little bit longer, and that is making it so the hail can get larger than what you may typically see, at least in the Denver area. And that's why you have that low correlation coefficient really highlighted in there in the like let's go ahead and just kind of zoom in. Let's see a region here while we're waiting for that radar to update. It's 3:10 p.m. in Denver right now. Your biggest hail, again, is going to be along South Kipling Street, got Bellevue Avenue. Let's see if any fun points of interest showing up here. I got some parks, it looks like. Foothills Championship course getting hit. And just a bunch of parks. So there's nothing too wild within this there of what being impacted, but a lot of homes with this getting hit with that hail, at least golf ball size. It's warned for baseball size hail. I'm gonna actually take a second. I'm gonna look on MPing reports, see if there's any big reports coming in. Let's see if we got quarters. MPing can be helpful sometimes, and other times it can be a little deceiving because people will report hail the second it starts falling, and it just ends up getting larger, and then they won't report it again because they get a little bit freaked out. Overall, yep, we're just sending those alerts for 2-inch hail here. If you are signed up for Hail Trace, you are getting those alerts for our 2-inch hail with this storm, and it makes perfect sense. Looks like we have, is this a new storm report that just showed up while I was doing this? Yeah, golf ball size hail in Columbine. So you're getting Columbine, Colorado, golf ball size hail here. That's in the far southern sections of Lakewood, down by Ken Carl, Littleton, this whole region. Again, a lot of folks live here. So this is a very densely populated area that is getting rocked right now with that probably high volumes of hail and that golf ball 2-inch hail. I'm not totally convinced on the baseballs at the moment, but we could definitely be seeing a quite, man, boy, those correlation coefficient values are intense. So looking here, again, storm's moving pretty slow, so you're getting a long duration of that big hail as well. So this is definitely going to be a very impactful storm for a lot of folks here. That the golf ball report, the fact that we're getting some golf ball reports coming in like right away is indicative that we may be seeing hail even larger than that. Otherwise, yeah, this is definitely the only severe storm at the moment for sure, and it's continuing to look pretty gnarly on all the radars that we utilize. I'm going to actually take a time to see how tall this storm is, right? So it's since I'm sitting here at the camera, I'm going to do a little bit of a tilt. And this is why we are getting the kind of hail that we are getting. This storm is a tall one, a tall son of a gun. Basically what happened is we rolled off the mountains, right? And that caused the nice warm air to lift up into the storm even more, caused that lift to explode up. So we already had a very strong storm in the middle of the Rockies, and then as it moved into the foothills, the lower zone relative to Denver, this storm just really blew up and is now just perpetuating a ton of hail here. Wouldn't be shocked again if we are seeing, it's warned for baseballs. I wouldn't be shocked if we're seeing hail potentially close to that size. It's hard for me to say baseballs all the time. Here in Denver, it is not a common occurrence. That is a for sure statement here. So let me just get my camera back to the proper tilt. There we go. And so again, this is a pretty intense storm. A lot of reports coming in, and it has just now entered sections of Denver. In the Littleton area, Lakewood, Morrison, the Red Rocks Amphitheater. You know, they're getting some publicity recently that you probably don't want. And here we go. They're getting hit again. So got $half size hail from Emping in the town of Pleasant View. So that is actually pretty far up to the north here, away from the main core. It might have actually been that second storm that's trying to get its act together a little bit. I think, honestly, I think the storm that is to the north here is the storm here in Golden. I believe this storm is going to be getting absorbed by the fact that all the good energy is in the storm that is making the really big hail. So again, this is our real focus. See if we got the storm tracks. Let's see if I can query the hail size real quick. Okay, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is, yeah, no question about it that we are getting severe hail. And it is the max hail size on this has skyrocketed up to potentially up to, so the algorithm is indicating here on our IBM system that it is up to 3-inch hail. I don't think that, again, I don't think that's the size it's falling. I'm pretty sure this is going to be super high volumes of other hail. And it looks like we have a new warning issued, and it is pretty much what I was thinking. We're moving more to the east-southeast instead of due east. So we got places like Centennial and Littleton and everything. So Centennial, Highland Ranch, Littleton, South Glen, all in this new warning here for tennis ball size hail. It is moving east at 10 miles an hour again. I think it is moving a little more to the southeast. And it was still indicating by trained weather spotters. I'm curious to see if that tennis ball report, if it's saying it's been reported that by trained spotters, if that's just the report back from Indian Hills, or if new tennis ball size hail has been reported with this storm. I do not know that for a fact. I do just know that the hail algorithm on this thing is ridiculous. I mean, it is definitely showing a very intense storm here, definitely going to be very destructive for the folks that are being impacted by this right now. Is moving slowly, is dropping a lot of hail, and that hail is definitely quite large. So I think we might have some pictures starting to show up on here. Okay, yeah, so this is in the Solterra neighborhood in Lakewood. Looks like that's probably about 2 inches in diameter there in the photo that I just looked at. And then I see somebody else pretty pissed off because they went to Red Rocks and they lost their windshield. And this storm, yeah, this storm is still just raging here. Again, that hail size is maintaining, again, something very large. It is dropping, I think, high volumes of that 2-inch hail. Again, will we see some baseball photos coming out of Lakewood or the Columbine area or Littleton? It's possible, right? Like, it's just the number of times I've seen hail very, very large like this in Denver in the about 10 years I've been here, I can count on one hand. Is this one of those storms? It's very possible. I'm just kind of hedging my bets more towards the higher quantities of hail. But if there is anything that's really big, it's probably going to be right along in here, kind of along the main updraft region of the storm. And if we go ahead and zoom in on it, we have, oh crap, okay, we just got a whole bunch of LSRs pop up just now. So let's go ahead and take a second to query those. See, so we got 1-inch hail there, 1.25. Looks like a lot of Emping reports. Okay, so they're just like populating the Emping reports. Golf ball size hail there. Empings, more Empings. Yeah, so nice little word of note. When Emping has predominantly $quarter and $half size hail, usually that means the biggest hail is a little bit larger than that. It seems like yesterday the National Weather Service in Boulder took their sweet time to post all their storm reports from the storms last night, and this time around, this time around they're just posting freaking everything like as soon as it comes out. I mean, it's the middle of the day. They had a pretty high profile, high impact storm in their coverage area last night. I think they are trying not to have a repeat. So I'm actually going to remove the storm reports off here so we can see the storm a little bit better. You can see it's wrapped up pretty good. I'm curious. Yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of rotation with this. I don't think there's anything tornadic by any means at the moment, but the fact that there is rotation does mean that it'll help suspend those hailstones longer, and that's why you're getting the low CCs. Real easy to see. So all correlation coefficient does is show the correlation of the different objects in the sky. So you have rain, all generally correlates, all about the same size, little raindrops. But hailstones, they tumble, they're bigger, smaller, they're different sizes from raindrops. So you have the less correlation you have, bigger the hail likely is going to be, because it's going to correlate a lot less than a little raindrop. And those colors get cooler, so you go from the hot colors like the reds and the oranges. You get down to the greens and the blues. That's when you're really going to start seeing that much bigger hail showing up in here, and that is what we have been seeing with this storm pretty much from second one. If we just roll it back on just the correlation coefficients, you can pretty much follow that hail core as it crosses Highway 85 and then heads towards where it says Littleton on the map. And you can see that right in there. That is where your biggest hail is going to be, and it correlates perfectly with where you have the inflow of this storm to cause that those hailstones to stay suspended and to make them get larger. So again, we're continuing that warning for tennis ball size hail, but I'm maintaining is more likely a lot of hail from that $1 to $1/2 size all the way up to the golf ball to the 2-inch size. And we'll see if we have any other pictures coming in here. Okay, looks like I got a picture of golf ball size hail in Lakewood. Looks like the mountain town of Indian Hills got rocked with some very large, dang it, with very large hail, up to that tennis ball size hail, and also it looks very hard as well. So that has that you know it when you see it, I guess, for the really large hail. And now, honestly, kind of stutter a little bit there. This has been a hell of a sequence of severe weather since about the 11th. We have been going in real hard with all of these storms that have happened between the Dallas area and like Arkansas, now in Colorado. Everything's starting to blur together. If anyone's complaining about not a good hail year this year, I don't know what you're gonna need. So looks like we got this radar update. We have a lot more of those high rate reflectivity values, greater than 60. So where you're seeing the pink, that's where your really big hail is going to be falling. And yeah, look at that. We got some low CCs correlating with that almost perfectly. And if I bring up reflectivity, it is mostly hail falling too. So this is a high volume hail event. A ton of hail falling with this. If I zoom in certain areas like let's say West Coal Mine Avenue and South Pierce Street, this neighborhood, and here in at Littleton, I believe this is part of Littleton, you are getting rocked like crazy. Tons of hail, likely in excess of golf ball size, just really tearing this apart. And we just now got an update. Looks like we now have a tornado warning in effect. Let's go ahead and query that for you guys within this storm. Yeah, that tornado warning here for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over northwestern Highland Ranch, or about 12 miles south of Denver. It's moving southeast, so we're moving officially southeast now. I was saying this for a little while. We were making that turn, so we're moving southeast at about 15 miles an hour, and it's radar indicated for a potential tornado. So yeah, they issued 2 tornado warnings somehow. Yeah, they definitely issued 2. I don't know how that happened, but either way, it's issued for a tornado warning. Ignore the hail size. This is that's on the screen here. This is literally just they're highlighting the tornado. Obviously, the hail is still very much a threat within this. So let's take the time here, since we now have a tornado warning. I'm going to bring up velocity. Is going to see. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, so definitely a tight couplet there, right in here, right where that red and the green is meeting, just south of Colorado Interstate Route 470, that is where that potential for a tornado may be. Notice you have that tight couplet. So where the reds, greens, meaning your tornado, if there was one, it would be somewhere right in there. Now, do I think there is a tornado at the moment? No, I'm going to bring up correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient, really good for seeing hail, really good for seeing debris being lofted within a tornado. I am not seeing that at the moment because I put the tornado pretty much right where the couplet is and I still have it circled. Don't see a little debris ball yet, so that's good. Granted, you wouldn't be able to see this. There's quite a bit of rain here. Here it is, again, just south of Highway 470. There's a lot of folks in here. You zoom in and suddenly it's like, oh, geez, okay, Highlands Ranch. Denver's one of the fastest growing cities in the country, so you got a ton of folks possibly in here, which is concerning. We have that tornado warning in place. So if you are in Highlands Ranch, if you're in Lone Tree, get in your tornado safe place, get into your room of your house, into your closet, cover yourself with like a mattress or something in the bathtub, a basement if you have it. Try to get yourself down low. This is definitely capable of producing a tornado and is moving to the moving to the southeast at about 15 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and time that out for the next 45 minutes-ish. So cross Highlands Ranch at 3:35, Lone Tree at 3:54, and Vista Point at 4:08. So that is the tornado risk within this storm right now. And it looks like we literally just got a radar update here. So we have I'll start with the hail here. So we have quite a bit of hail across the Littleton area. Geez, yeah, man, golly, a ton of hail with this on this storm. Honestly, it just goes almost without saying at this point. Good Lord. Getting absolutely hammered with hail within the storm. Still warned for that tennis ball size hail. A lot of those MPEG reports have come in. But since we do have that tornado risk, I'm going to kind of focus away a little bit from the hail. Like, again, you're getting that golf ball size hail in Littleton right now, right? Highway 85 in Littleton, pretty much south. If you're just south of Highway 285, or you're getting rocked, okay? So you're getting rocked in Littleton, Colorado. But I need to switch things over, look at that potential here for a tornado. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so I just went and I did my little scope for velocities, and that couplet's very strong, very, very strong. It's actually starting to, when I look at it on my screen off to my left, that doesn't look great. So that looks a little concerning here. So right now I switched to correlation coefficient. I do not see a debris ball at the moment, but that is a tight couplet. And honestly, when you're looking at reflectivity, notice right here. It's going to look probably pretty small on your screen, but there's a bit of a dip. The lowering of the reflectivity within this storm, usually when you get that little donut hole, that usually indicates that there might be a tornado ongoing. Now, we're hitting a very populated area, okay? Highlands Ranch has a ton of people in it. So if we do see anything, if anything does show up, we will for sure get some kind of confirmation. I'm actually going to turn the storm tracks back on. We're going to go ahead, we're going to query this. I don't think this is going to get, they ain't giving me any kind of real information here, but definitely this storm is spinning, and if it isn't dropping a tornado right now, it could at any moment. It does not look like we are confirmed tornado warning right now, but I do not like this look. I do not like seeing this right here. This is really a very strong signal of the potential for, if there isn't a tornado, the potential is very much there here. It would be just north of the East Highlands Ranch Parkway, and somewhere between Highway 470 and the East Highland Ranch Parkway, here in Highlands Ranch, moving east-southeast, generally to the southeast. So there's going to be a ton of neighborhoods in here. I'm really waiting for that next radar update Just got one on, okay, yep. I just got one on my computer off to the left, and go correlation coefficient. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little tornado icon right here, all right? I'm going to move it around, put that right there, right where the greens and the reds are meeting. I'm going to bring up the correlation coefficient. Okay, that's not good. That isn't good. I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay, this might be a debris signature right here, folks. This might be it. Again, I'm circling right here. Okay, I'm going to kill storm tracks because it's getting in my way. I'm putting that right there. Back to velocity. That's not good. That really looks like we might have something going on here, folks. We might have a tornado ongoing here in Highlands Ranch. Again, I cannot confirm it. I don't have access to chasers like the news channels do in Denver right now, but just looking at this purely from a radar standpoint, you have a strong couplet, you have a little lowering in the correlation coefficients that is consistent with what would likely be a weaker tornado, and it is in that right spot. So if we zoom right on in, we're going to zoom way in here. It'd be right along South Broadway and Plaza Drive, moving to, looks like generally to the east. So it's going to be just south of 470, moving generally to the east. So Dad Clark Drive, further to the east here. I mean, there is so much population here. Please, 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 please. You hear the sirens going off, your phone blowing up. You need to get yourself in your tornado safe place immediately. This is a pretty strong signal for a tornado here, folks, here in the Highlands Ranch area of the Denver metro. So please get yourselves into a tornado safe place. This does not look good. This is definitely not good, okay? I know it doesn't look like much, this little green pixel and a couple oranges in here over the Northridge Road, but that could be something tornadic. Looks like we did just get a radar update. Oh God, this thing is getting messy looking. Let's, okay, so there we go. The velocity seems to have, looks like the couplet has moved a tiny bit. So it hasn't moved very much in the last few minutes here. So it's only about one radar frame. Looks like we have a tornado. Looks like we definitely have a tornado. Yep. Yeah, no, we definitely have a tornado. Notice here, let me zoom in right here in the neighborhood. Notice very low correlation coefficient. You get down to the blues like this, and if I look on my other computer here, that's down to 0.7. No, not good. Very bad. That is a tornado. We definitely have a tornado ongoing here in the Highlands Ranch neighborhood. The reflectivity is even lower, correlation coefficient, and the velocity is, again, very strong signal here for a tornado. This is not great, and looks like the tornado warning. Yes, okay, we have a tornado, confirmed tornado warning. Notice our little box got a little thicker here. We're gonna click on this, we're going to query this. Okay, so we have a particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning now in effect here. Okay, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over northeastern Highlands Ranch, what we were just talking about here the last couple minutes, okay? This is a particularly dangerous situation. They don't word these things very, when you got to really heed these warnings, okay? Damaging tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado. Said you're a life-threatening situation, flying debris, blah, blah, blah. Get yourself into your shelter, your basement, interior room of your house. If you're in Highlands Ranch, you're in Centennial, you're in Lone Tree, get yourself into your tornado safe place right now. This storm has a tornado ongoing. It's pretty much right. Crap, hang on. There we go. It is right in here, okay? We are literally just south of Highway 470, moving generally east along Northridge Road. This whole neighborhood right here. Let me zoom in, get some more roads for you. Golly, give me some freaking roads. Northridge, Prairie Ridge Road, moving generally to the east-southeast. So you got like a Terrace Drive, Falcon Hills Drive, all downstream. Ah, crap! I got my, dang it, my radar updated. I have to give you an update here. So here you go, a video of a tornado here. So that proof, we got that report of a tornado ongoing at the moment. Oh, geez. Let me get velocities here. Looks like we haven't had an update in a second. But the storm is moving slow, thankfully, but it is yeah, this is not good, guys. We have definitely got a tornado. There we go. Looks like I need my radar update a second here. So looks like we have moved off to the south and east a tiny bit. Yep, it's moved to the southeast. So now we are right in middle of Highlands Ranch, the Weatherstone Circle. We're getting down to the Highlands Ranch Parkway. We're moving, looks like, southeast. So if I zoom this out a little bit, southeast at about 15, I think, is what it said. So I'm just gonna, dang it, hang on. I need to zoom this out a little bit so I can actually get you guys the full storm track. Okay, southeast about 15 miles an hour. That should bring us pretty much through Southern Centennial, Castle Pines North, and the Pinery eventually in the next 45 minutes or so. Let me zoom this back in. Areas at risk. I'm just going to kind of zoom in on the cone here. Different roads. So MacArthur Ranch Road, South University Boulevard, East Wildcat Reserve Parkway, eventually I-25. A lot of these little roads here, MacArthur Drive, Finn Avenue, Deer Meadow Lane, South Monarch Boulevard. If any of these are ringing a bell, Lions Head Parkway, you are in the path of this thing here, okay? And we're definitely still getting that correlation coefficient, a little circle here. I'm just gonna kind of make my little tornado icon. That's pretty much exactly where it is at the moment. The other thing that I've been kind of neglecting is we're getting hail down here in the Castle Pines and Lone Tree area as well. Looks like we are kind of getting a bit of a hail sandwich from this almost. Like we're getting hail on either side of this confirmed tornado. And yeah, no, this is, if I zoom this out a little bit, you can see here we have basically the tornado is just like in the middle. You can almost tell like the hail is getting like getting roped up into the inflow of this thing, and it's hailing on both sides. So the correlation coefficient is going to make trying to spot this, you know, because of all the hail that's falling, it's getting a little tougher to really tell where the tornado is just via correlation coefficient here on radar. So I can't confirm whether or not it is still on the ground or if it has since lifted, just because, golly, I mean, this thing is hailing. This is a hail machine right here. So I'm just going to assume that it's still on the ground. So let me get to the velocities. Yeah, I mean, that is such a strong signal here in the most recent radar frame update. You're going to get right where these 2 pixels, right in here. That is where that most likely that tornado is going to be. Let's see if I switch it over to correlation coefficient. Okay, there we go. There's your debris. Let me clear that out. So that's where your tornado is going to be at right now. Okay, it's not going to probably be that big. It's probably going to be a lot smaller, but it's small. You know, you're going to shoot debris out and everything here in Highlands Ranch. So let me zoom in here, see exactly where this thing is. It is very likely straddling South University Boulevard, right along the Sorrel Lane area. Okay, check Twitter. There's videos of the tornadoes. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense that there's definitely going to be videos. I mean, again, we are in an incredibly populated area. If you guys can tell, just every time I zoom in, there's about 70,000 different roads showing up. That's really going to highlight just the fact that a lot of folks are going to be seeing this on the stream here. Just give me a second. I don't know if we have any I mean, if you find can you try to find a video of the tornado that's happening right now? And send it in so I can at least take a look at it. Highlands Ranch, or just Denver, honestly, if you or just search like tornado, like, it's over so many people, like, there's gonna be, the videos are gonna show up pretty quick. So, yeah, so again, if you're just joining us, we've had a pretty active, I don't know how long I've been live here, but not only have we had some very large hail across the Denver metro, I think we've even had another report of golf balls here just not too long ago. Yeah, golf ball size hail in Littleton. But we also have a tornado, definitely still an ongoing situation here in Highlands Ranch. Okay, it's like right along South University Boulevard, moving southeast about 15 miles an hour. I think the tornado itself is not moving a ton. This whole storm is rotating and moving around, and really, you know, you can really tell you have one area, I'm just going to use the warm air, that's almost like the inflow of the storm is wrapping around into the into where the tornado is going to be, and then you have the cooler air from the rain-cooled storm kind of wrapping up in there as well, and that is, they're getting that tornado pretty much right up in here in Highlands Ranch, and that this whole system is spinning around, and you're pulling hail up into it, you're pulling hail down into it, so chances are, I think right now, you may not even see it super great. Yeah, it's getting rain wrapped. This is a rain. You're not gonna be able to go step out on your porch and see this thing easy, guys. Like, it's gonna be probably a pretty rain wrapped situation here. So I'm gonna zoom in. Huh? Yeah. No, that definitely is. So there it is. There it is right there. Hoping I got the most up to date. You can tell, I mean, you got that low correlation coefficient. I haven't had an update here in a minute. Have I? When's the last? Yeah, so we're not moving too much. It almost looks like the storm is it trying to occlude? Yeah, it's not moving too much, so that, where that velocity is, it's just kind of sitting and chugging along here. When I'm looking on my other screen, there definitely is a very defined debris ball right along South University Boulevard, and looks like we just got another radar update. It is on the move, so let's see if I can get there. There it is. Okay, so now we got that update. The tornado is now currently located pretty much at the intersection of East Wildcat Reserve Parkway and South University Boulevard. It is impacting a lot of folks, a lot of roads in here, Fallbrook Drive, Timberhawk Circle, again, moving generally to the south and to the east, so further down the pipeline is a metric crap ton of homes. We have South Quebec Street is next, Wagon Box Circle. Again, you need to be in your tornado shelters immediately here, folks. This tornado is still on the ground, still ongoing. You're not going to see it. So again, that tornado is pretty much right here. Let's see if, actually, you know what, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it if you're watching on your phone. The tornado is basically right here. And notice, on either side of it, there is a wall of hail, okay? Like, the hail, this is all hail. And this is also all hail. You're not going to see this tornado, and then everything else in here, that's all rain. So it's going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. You're not going to see it. By the time you hear it, it might be too late. So you need to just get yourself into your tornado shelter right now and wait this thing out. If you don't have a shelter, you can get into, interior room of your house, your closet, your basement, whatever it is, wherever you go to protect yourself when there is a tornado, you need to be there now, because this thing is still producing a tornado, is still ongoing, and it looks to be continuing. It looks like, let me see, I see a couple, yeah, no, it's super rain wrapped. I know you guys can't see on here the stuff I'm looking at. I could get it set up for you guys to see, but it's a little bit of work. I honestly just kind of want to see. Looks like you can't see this thing at all. It is so rain wrapped. So this is definitely, again, dangerous situation unfolding here in the South Denver metro. This is going to be in Highlands Ranch. This thing has really, the occlusion, so basically what that means is the storm, as it's rotating, it'll kind of suck its circulation center back up into itself and redevelop off to the south. Well, it seems like what's happening with this, if I switch the velocity, is it started rotating, it managed to make a tornado here, and now it's just kind of stuck, right? It is just chilling like in this one little area here and moving generally this way. But notice it looks like we might be starting to get another area of rotation that I'll have to keep an eye on as well. So, ooh, geez, okay, that's an update I did not want to see. Notice we just had an update mid-velocity here, so that's what it was before. Now it's a little more intense now. Let's see, can I query the gate-to-gate shear on this? Ugh, geez, okay, yeah, that's probably in the, I don't want to say the EF scale in here. So, but either way, this is definitely not good tornado. Where we go, zoom in, you got the debris ball. We're hitting some homes here, guys. This is right along near Keenan Street, near Apollo Bay Way. That right there, those two little green pixels, there's your tornado right there. And again, we are moving to the southeast. We're on the move now. This thing is no joke. I think we're moving out of Highlands Ranch, getting into maybe the Lone Tree area, I want to say, of the Denver metro. But the big thing, the big takeaway is this thing is in a lot of folks, very, very populated area. Like you're going to hit stuff no matter what with this storm. So obviously things have taken a bit of a turn. It looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Castle Pines North, Parker, the Pinery, for golf ball size hail. That will get updated very likely here to a new confirmed PDS tornado warning, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. I'm going to query the tornado warning again, see if there's been any updates since I first looked at it. And it doesn't look like it's updated like at all. It just says a damaging tornado that's confirmed and ongoing. And it is rain wrapped. Pictures that I'm seeing of it, I'm not really seeing too much of. I haven't seen too much. You're not going to be able to see it too great. So, looking around, yeah, I mean, God, geez, this thing, this is a hail machine here, guys, and a tornado maker as well. Definitely not a good combo. Let's see, is this? It's an angry storm, that's for dang sure. Okay, well, I don't care what's going on in that chat, but yeah, definitely very dangerous situation, very much a, okay, got radar update. So this is, we're now kind of in Lone Tree, Colorado. We are just south of Lincoln Avenue. Tornado, again, showing up pretty clearly right here where those correlation coefficients are lower, where you've seen the greens and the yellows. It's not looking as angry as it once did, but it's still definitely rain wrapped. It's still definitely doing some damage here. But I'm hopeful that it's going to weaken a little bit and maybe lift pretty soon. I'm hopeful, okay? But that doesn't mean anything's changing. It's very much still ongoing here in the Lone Tree, Colorado area. The hail's still very much happening. The storm is very strange looking, but it is hailing nonetheless, right along up and down I-25 here. It probably isn't. I mean, it might still be pretty large. I mean, if you're making a tornado, you're getting a lot of rotation with this. It is a very angry supercell. It is definitely not to be messed with here, okay? Again, just south of East Lincoln Avenue, moving generally southeast, other areas, is going to get out of this tornado warning here at any second. So we're going to get a new tornado warning, probably a new confirmed tornado warning issued at any moment here by National Weather Service in Boulder. Looks like the storm reports have kind of stopped coming in. Once we start getting a confirmed tornado, it looks like the storm reports have kind of chilled out a little bit. But again, doesn't mean it's not hailing. It just means that people may actually be taking their tornado precautions and getting themselves into their basements, into their shelters. And there is that new tornado warning. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Okay, that tornado warning, it's continued to be a confirmed tornado warning, a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. It is a damaging tornado. It's moving. It's over Lone Tree. It's moving east about 15 miles per hour, and it's heading towards, again, Lone Tree, Parker, Stonegate, the Pinery. Hopefully this thing will lift pretty soon. It's going to be 2 seconds here. Okay. Sorry, I just need to make sure I took a second to... Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had to respond to somebody really quick. So while that was going, it looks like, okay, that might be a good sign. Let's roll the radar back just a second. Notice the velocities aren't looking as, not looking as intense as they did a couple moments ago. So this is at 3:51 Mountain Time. That was at 48. So 3 minutes passed. We may have had something lift here. Let's roll it back. There's your debris ball. Debris ball is right here. We're going to push it forward. And notice it is a lot more diffuse. Means that debris is probably ejecting out away from where there likely was something before. So I'm hoping that means that we have had the tornado lift momentarily, and maybe it will not continue here. So looks like, again, quite a bit of large hail here, still ongoing. I mean, like Parker and all that definitely getting impacted. I don't think it's the insane hail that we had been seeing before, probably up to that golf ball size. And also the fact that we're probably not getting too much in the way of probably not going to get too many hail reports in at the moment just because of the tornado situation, but definitely quite a bit of hail for sure. I mean, if I zoom in, we're focusing back on the hail a little bit here in Parker. I mean, you know, you're getting blasted here on Newland Gulch Boulevard and East Main Street. You know, probably up to that golf ball size hail there, and a lot of, you know, high volume hail, like basically summertime snow across the Denver area here. And correlation coefficient isn't as crazy. That's, again, looking at velocities. We had another update just now, and I'm having a hard time figuring out where the tornado would be, and that's good news. It has, I think the storm has really started kind of changing what kind of thunderstorm it is, so turning away from a supercell and sort of almost turning into like a bit of almost like a bow. There's certainly rotation with it, without a doubt. Like, I think the tornado warning will definitely have to continue. We'll have to watch very carefully. The areas along I-25, we could have a new circulation pop up here in a little bit. So, yeah, overall, very intense storm here, guys. I'm just kind of jumping back and forth. A lot of different things. Did we get? Good tornado. Any tornado pictures? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just shows, like, the fact that all the pictures coming in just seem to be generally structure shots makes me think that, yeah, well, people are either taking cover or it's rain wrapped and you can't see it. So overall, I think a lot of a lot happened. All right, so we thanks for watching here, guys. Also, I know it's been a little chaotic. I'm just trying to kind of one-man showing this a little bit, and there's a lot to talk about, but whoops. Overall, it looks like the tornado may have lifted for the time being, which is good. I'm trying to see if we have any other hail reports coming in. There's definitely been a bit of a lagging in that for sure, pretty much since the moment the tornado started. People stopped really caring about the tornado or the hail and taking shelter, which is something I'd like to see. And yeah, there looks like there's a lot of stuff. So, well, our map, of course, will be will be updated as this all continues to move off to the south and to the east here, and let's just kind of check in on the velocities. Again, it doesn't look like there is too much now that says tornado to me. This does not look tornadic at the moment. There's certainly still rotation. I think that it's very possible, you know, this tornado warning may continue, but I do not think, did they drop? Actually, did they drop the, no. I think they dropped the other tornado warning. Yep, yeah, they did. Okay, so they dropped that tornado warning that they had issued because there's nothing currently on the ground. So tornado obviously must have lifted, which is good. We just have a hail threat now, and also probably a wind threat. Notice a high velocity area right in here. Probably some gusty winds in the Highlands Ranch area, just on the back side. It's called a bit of a wake low, like a rear inflow jet. So basically, what that is you're getting some cold air racing along the back side of the storm. So it might be pretty windy for some folks here right now in the areas of Highland Ranch where there was a tornado before. So hopefully, again, I haven't personally seen any of the photos of damage. I hope there isn't too much bad damage for the tornado. The hail, I think we are, let's see, can I, okay, this thing is still all jacked up, so I'm not going to do that. I think the hail sizes in this, in the Pinery and Parker and down by Franktown, this is where your biggest hail is likely at right now, is actually a little area here in the Pinery, so along East Stroh Road and the Crowfoot Valley Road. That's where your bigger hail is going to be, probably up to that golf ball size. But overall, again, I'm liking what I'm seeing here on velocities. I'm not seeing too much of anything that's tornadic. The storm looks like it has since decided that it wants to be more like this than being like that. So being more of a forward, outward pushing bow will really minimize that tornado threat. The hail threat is still obviously there. Straight line wind threat may actually start picking up with this, but looking at this right now, I do not see too much in the way of anything tornadic. The hail is certainly continuing. It is hailing in Centennial currently. Anywhere you see that high reflectivity, at least quarter-size hail is ongoing. So I-25, East Dry Creek Road, East County Line Road, and now continuing along in Parker as well. Pretty much riding right along Highway 83. You're on Highway 83 going south or north. You're going north from Franktown or south from Foxfield. Man, you know, you're getting pelted with quite a bit of hail with this here. Probably all varieties of hail sizes. They're pretty typical of Denver, where you get like, you know, like the really small hail upwards to maybe some golf ball size hail with this. I don't think it's dropping the really big hail that it had before, where you had up to that tennis ball size hail. But regardless, definitely an already very impactful storm, and along with the fact that we did see a for sure tornado ongoing. Somebody saw it. There's definitely a Twitter video of it. So I mean, somebody managed to see the tornado, which is good. You know, we were able to get that confirmation, and able to get that confirmed tornado warning out to folks, you know, for safety reasons. But it looks like, again, this thing is moving off to the east. I think it's starting to move a little quicker too, as the structure of the storm has changed. It looks like the Palmer Divide has caused the storm to change shape and change how it's rotating and moving and evolving. So as it keeps moving to the east, I think there will be a real acceleration of the storm as it pulls away from the metro and into the much more rural areas to the east of Denver. And I think the hail sizes will also be coming down quite a bit. If we get that latest update, I'm seeing just kind of speckles here and there, looking a lot more typical of something that would impact the Denver metro than what we were seeing before, which was something more out of Texas, where you're probably some pretty big hail falling with that. So overall, I think quarter to maybe golf ball size hail. Looks like a lot of these warnings have since expired as the storm. Yep, the storm is moving away from a lot of folks. So really, that warning is here for the Castle Rock area, and it's even about to move out of this. So I expect that we're going to see a new warning that's going to look something like that here issued in the next couple of minutes. And that'll be, I guarantee it'll be a severe thunderstorm warning, probably for maybe up to golf ball size hail, and potentially an increase in wind gusts. As I've been looking at this, definitely screams to me you're getting some strong, this right here is some strong outflow winds with this storm, and that's going to be racing off to the southeast, northeast, east, just generally. So, you know, could see some strong gusts, some wind-driven hail with that. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. I think honestly, when we get a new warning, I may wrap the stream up. I do have a phone call I need to make. So I don't know if Todd's actually. Oh yeah, Todd's watching. Don't worry, Todd. I'm gonna give you a call after I get off of here. So I got other. We're a man of many hats here at Hail Trace. You haven't seen me on the video too much. I've been doing other things, but you know, can't say no to doing some live coverage. You know, notice, yeah, you can tell very clearly the storm's wrapping up here. I'll use my green. You can tell that's the flow of the storm, becoming almost like a little land hurricane. And yeah, there you go. You can see that rotation within the storm. And the hail, not so big anymore. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if the biggest we see is maybe some ping pong, the golf ball size hail somewhere in here. I think it's going to primarily be a lot smaller hail, probably pretty wind driven. I'm sure Todd did not like me shouting him out there. Now everybody's going to roast him. Yeah, again, I think the most impactful part of the storm, the most impactful area has occurred. I think, thankfully, again, if I go back to velocities, I'm hopeful that we do not see any other kind of tornadic activity. If there was something, it would be here in essentially the comma head. I mean, you can tell. You can basically just trace the hail core, how the rotation of the storm is working. So if there was anything, it would pop up right in there. You bring up the velocities. There is definitely some rotation. I wouldn't be shocked if as this continues to evolve and wrap up and move off to the east. I think we could see another tornado warning in the future, but I think right now, okay, somebody said, I'm in the tech center and stayed small here. That does make sense. I mean, if we bring up, so tech center is what? It's in Centennial around here somewhere. It's somewhere around I-25, if I recall off the top of my head. bring up correlation coefficient. Not very hot, very low at all. I think, again, probably a lot. It's probably hailing a ton, but it's very likely, if I bring up this, yeah, it's hailing quite a lot, but it's probably pretty small. I think the biggest hail is very likely staying over by Parker and the Pinery. If anything was up to golf ball size, it was that. But even now, you know, looking compared to what this storm looked like, I'm trying to determine via correlation coefficient where that biggest hail might be right now. And I know it can be difficult in Denver to begin with, but I'm not seeing too much that would really scream big time severe hail to me. At least in the Centennial area, in the Foxfield area, Southern Aurora. I don't think the hail, if there's anything, it'll be like your isolated quarters. I think overall, probably staying pretty small up to the north. Okay, they finally got a new, oh really? They warned just that. I wonder if this is just for like big hail. Yep. Okay, so they got a warning for only 2-inch hail here for Elizabeth, Kiowa, Ponderosa Park, and the Pinery. Just radar indicated. I mean, the hail algorithm is looking pretty gnarly there. In the Pinery, I think that's where the radar is looking the best for bigger hail. Let's see, can I turn storm tracks back on and have something show up, or is it still trying? Yeah, it's this system really likes to lean towards something tornadic, so it can be difficult when I just want to see what the algorithm says for hail, like what the radar is indicating for hail. But it's okay. I have my screen off over to the side here, but you notice there is lower correlation coefficient with this here in the Pinery. If I just kind of highlight this down to like the Franktown area, reflectivity, you know, it's not showing like the really high reflectivity values like 60 or 70 or whatever, but it is showing some bigger hail. So where that severe hail is it up to 2 inches? That's debatable. It might be, but I think more likely that quarter to ping pong ball size hail. If a golf ball, if somebody reports golf ball size hail in the Pinery, like along like South Pinery Parkway and Saddle Creek Trail, that wouldn't surprise me, you know. But further off to the north here, in places like in Centennial, over by the Tech Center, like you guys said, being generally small, that really doesn't surprise me in one bit. Overall, though, I mean, it looks like, oh, geez, the hail algorithm on this thing is getting real angry. Okay. Let's see, the pictures have been pretty quiet on my team, but the algorithm, at least on my computer, off to my left here, showing it's now indicating up to 3-inch. So we might be getting maybe like a new. Yeah, the storm is trying to reorganize itself off to the south here with like a new updraft off in here. So that might end up actually becoming the new updraft with this. So that's what we're looking at here, folks. Honestly, we are starting to get a little further away from some of the more intense population centers. We got Hilltop here. We have the Pinery. Once we get past this, and we get past, was it Elizabeth, I think? Or once we get to Elizabeth, honestly. Yeah, suddenly, oh wait, no, do I hit the county line or something? Or is it just, I think population just kind of hard stops, you know? We get to like Kiowa, and then suddenly there's not too much out here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Obviously, everything's available on Hail Trace. Make sure you come check us out there. I'll give a shout out to Merlin. I think I had C3 Group. I mean, I think they were originally based out of Colorado anyway. Check them out. Check out C3 Group. Thanks as always to all of our sponsors, the ones I didn't even get up on here on the video either. Usually, I try not to run our ads during during a big tornado warning. So thanks as always to all that. Check us out. Check the description below, the thing. You can see our map. It's being updated live. If you've been with us, you obviously have been getting our alerts as well. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for checking us out. And hopefully this once this ad wraps up here. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. We'll see you at that next one.